And we goes to Romans chapter 12, verse 1 and 2. He said, I beseech ye, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yah, that you present yourself, your bodies, your life, all that you are, I'm just emphasizing, as a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to Yah, which is your reasonable service. That means that you should be doing that. You should have a desire to do that. Nobody should have to tell you to be that way. A sacrifice is not just being obedient on the day of Sabbath or on whatever day that you have allowed yourself to get into worship with the Most High, with other brothers and sisters. You should have a life like that every day. Your days, every day, should be a place of worship. It should be your reasonable service. That you present yourself holy. That you present yourself acceptable. Because we think that that comes only on particular days. Every day the Most High is looking at us. Every day He's seeing where we're standing with Him. It's not about our life and we getting through our emotions. We got a lot of emotions that we go through. But is that going to change unless we are giving ourselves up as a sacrifice? Yes, love is the key. Because if we're not being that sacrifice that He sees, if we're not being what He wants, then what happens is that we keep gravitating to our passion. We'll gravitate to anything that will keep us in a place of comfort. But we ain't trying to be a level where we have to be a living sacrifice for the one that we say that we love. Holy and acceptable to Him, not to people, not to those that want to use and abuse you because you can sing good, because you have a drumming and you can do a piano, and that's not giving, it's just giving a little happiness for a moment, but you still dealing with whatever you're dealing with because your heart is still need to be conformed away from how the world thinks, how the world looks at stuff. He said, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yah. Now I want you to think about that. Perfect will. But how do we know His perfect will unless we're reading, unless we're studying, unless we are moving, unless we're sacrificing, unless we're trusting, unless we're building a heart filled with love to the Most High first? He says, seek ye first the kingdom. That means love Yah with all your heart, all your mind, all your being. Everything that you do should be love to Him first. Then it's easier to go out and love your brothers and sisters. But if your heart is not filled with truth, with Yah, like you don't have a mission, I don't know what you don't have love for Him. That's why it's hard for us to love each other when we don't even have a relationship that's important to Him. Hallelujah. Let's see here. Now Abraham did this. He said the act of worship is an act of obedience and faith. Abraham certainly could not have felt like worshiping. Now, y'all might not be familiar with this story, but in the Bible, what happened here in Genesis chapter 22, Abraham had to go and sacrifice his son Isaac. He loved Isaac. He already had another son at this point. But this was the chosen seed. So he took the time out to nurture this man. It said that this young man, he was nurturing him. He was loving on him. He was there. That would become his passion. He loved when he saw his son. But when your kids become more important to you When your job become more important to you, when your money become more important to you, when your time, become more important to you, then what you're doing is letting the Most High see that that's what's important to you. So he told Abraham, I want you to go to Moriah, the mount, and sacrifice your son Isaac there. Now it says here, now I want you to just keep that in mind. On the third day of his journey to offer Isaac as a sacrifice, Abraham said, we will come back to you. He was talking to the men that walked with them. An act of obedience have turned to the act of faith. The death of Isaac would mean the death of everything Abraham has lived for. Every promise in the covenant was based on the birth of this son. Everything he had believed was involved with Isaac. It was an act of total surrender to Yah at this point. Because Abraham's obedience to worship, Yah inhabited his praise and brought a special gift of faith, which compelled Abraham to commit to Isaac's sacrifice. So Psalms 22:3 says, but you are holy, who inhabited the praises of Israel. Abraham brought his son to be sacrificed, and this became a pattern of ultimate sacrifice. Later we see the Father allowing the sacrifice of his son. There is even a strong possibility that the Messiah was sacrificed at the exact place where Abraham offered Isaac. We must surrender all personal desires, ambitions, and plans to enter into real worship. Now I'm going to stop here because this is a long thing and I'm not going to do that today. But always remember what praise and worship is about. Because you got to remember, if you saying to the Most High that you love him, and you are in an act of sacrifice, but whatever your passion is, that don't mean go out and kill and get rid of your passion. But what it means is that your personal desires. What is a personal desire? People can be a personal desire. Job, house, family, friends, even you can be a personal desire for you. Your ambition may be so great that you don't even spend time with the Creator himself because you're more focused on what you need to do in order to fulfill whatever purpose you have for yourself. Your plans, if they're not in the line of the Most High's plan, then it's not walking rightly with the Most High, because your plans may not be what he wants for you. So we have to learn to surrender our personal desires, our personal ambitions, our personal plans, so that we will be able to walk according to his will. Hallelujah.